Hi, we are Team 25 from Lead India AI, and we were working on a internship. Our project is AI-based prediction of rainfall from daily satellite observation for disaster management. The mentor assigned to us was Dr. Kuldeep Chaurasia. We are three members in team: Tarun, Sarala, and I'm Komal. I'll be giving a brief introduction about how the rainfall has been affecting our life. We all know that rainfall is a major factor causing disaster, be it flood, landslide, erosion, or thunder. Every time it's the rainfall causing disaster, not only natural calamities but also agriculture. When there is low rainfall, we have droughts, having no food, and the animals depending on plants for food dies. And having high rainfall kills the plant because there's fungus growth and stuff. So having appropriate amount of rainfall is important, and if not appropriate amount of rainfall, predicting how much rainfall we'll be having will always be helpful in order to face all the calamities perfectly. So our job was to predict the rainfall, and for this we have been using a data set which was taken from NASA, and the data set was taken from the area of Haryana, a area called Yamunanagar, located in India. And the data set has total of 9 parameters, including date, time, temperature, humidity, pressure, wind speed, wind direction, rainfall, and shortwave irradiation. And the data we had is for like 40 years, which is sufficient for predicting appropriate amount of rainfall. The figures shown in the PPT predict like the nature of all the 9 factors. We can see there are some peak values and most of the graphs are very regular. We'll now move on to methodology.
Started.
So now in the methodology, we the flowchart describes the methodology used during designing of the model. Data preparation is crucial for the deep learning models, as good data gives accurate and reliable predictions, while the bad data used gives misleading results. Now, on to the first step of the methodology. We load the data set and set the data column as index. We will parse the dates and convert to data format. As data is continuous with a gap of 24 hours, no need to modify the data. On to the second step, the data pre-processing. The flowchart describes the methodology used during a design of model. Uh, the data preparation is crucial for deep learning models, as good data gives accurate and reliable predictions, while bad data gives misleading results. Now, moving on to the first step of methodology, we load the dataset and set the date column as index. We will parse the dates and convert to datetime format. As data is continuous with a gap of 24 hours, no need to modify the data. Now moving on to the second step, which is data preprocessing. We remove columns like snowfall, snow depth, and UT time, which is unnecessary. Snowfall and snow depth is having a lot of values as zero, because in that region there's no snowfall. So it has a lot of outliers, so it is removed. Also, the correlation with the rainfall is not great, and removing leads to dimensionality reduction. Now, moving on to the third step, which is outlier detection and imputation. Wind speed and rainfall have outliers. Other columns are so clean that not a single outlier is present. So we impute the outliers with their respective mean values. This gives models more predictive capability. Now moving on to the scaling part. As the columns have wide range of values, we have to scale them down to range of 0 and 1, 0 to 1, which the deep learning models prefer. Standard scaler has not proven effective in comparison to min-max scaler. So we have used min-max scaler in this. process. So moving on to the fifth step, that is splitting the data into train and test set. We split data into 34 years of train and 6 years of test set as test data. So model has good amount of data to train and to evaluate the model accurately. Now moving on to the fitting the model, we fit the model with Adam Optimizer and metrics as RMSE, which is a general metric for time series. The loss function used is mean square error. So validate the model. We validate the model's performance with the root mean square error metric. The lesser the root mean square error, the better is the model's predictive power and hence better predictions. We compare models in this step. So at last, we obtain the predictions for test set data and back to its original scale, which is scale and plot against the original visualization results. So now moving on to the experiment results.
So we have reached the results part. The models used here are 6 models. We have used the multi-headed CNN, simple LSTM, encoder decoder LSTM, CNN LSTM, encoder decoder, stack GRU, and stack LSTM. As the RMSE values are tabulated here, we can find that stack GRU has the least RMSE value which suits this model. This is the working model of GRU that we are using. Here, the first is the input layer and next it goes to dense layers. The question marks in the input refer to batch size and timestamp, which is of our own choice. It is given while running the model. These are the plots for predictions. The blue lines represent the actual rainfall and the red represent the predicted rainfall. In the x-axis, we have test data in years, and in the y-axis, we have rainfall in millimeters. The first graph represents the CNN model. Though it is able to predict, RNNs are better as they have memory component. The below one is the simple LSTM. Next, when we compare encoder decoder LSTM and CNN LSTM, encoder decoder was able to predict the high values but with less accuracy, so we have not chosen both of them. While coming to the stack GRU, we find the predictions more accurate when compared to the stack LSM, but very slight difference between them. So as we have seen in the graph, stack GRU was able to predict with more accuracy and least RMSE values, but it was unable to predict the peak values. So this is the only drawback that we can get from this stack GRU. Predicting the rainfall is a tough task. So to deal with it, we have used deep learning methods as they have the ability to recognize the hidden patterns. We can improve this project further by using the hyperparameter tuning. So these are some of the research papers and documentaries which we have gone through for reference in part. Thank you.